Hey everyone, Eric with Rockin' HTV session number 48. Tonight we are working on our Neville built trailer. This is our build along series for the fall, or I guess going into the winter of 2017. And this is the horizontal side ribbed trailer, if that means anything to you. And tonight we're going to get cranking on this cool trailer to keep it moving along. So we're going to let everyone get in the house, and then we will get busy on our trailer on our build along. So I am looking forward to that. It will be very good. So we'll just see if we can get some folks here, see what's cooking, see who's in the house, see who's coming along. There we go. All right. So we'll just let Facebook do its magic, and we will get underway soon. So I'm looking forward to seeing how everyone is getting along and what they might be building as we continue this series. And for me up in the shop, what do we got cooking here? Last week I did finished 2 models and delivered them. A couple of models, an end-up truck, Kenworth T800, excuse me. I did a pendle axle trailer tonight. Then I did that, and then what else? Oh, and then I have another trailer here. I got to put a 3D part that just arrived today, so that'll be good. And we have Dustin and Donnie and Kent. Good to see you guys. Thanks for joining. Looks like the crowd is gathering. That's excellent. What else do we have here in the shop? Let me see. I have got 6 trucks that are branded Frederick Harvesting. These are some guy from Australia contacted me. He's out actually on the Frederick Harvesting crew right now. He ordered 2 of them, and then said if some of my other ones finished up, he'd take a 3rd, and then I had a custom one. Guy says, if you can make this, I will buy it. And I thought, well, let's give it a go, and I made it, and he's going to buy it. And then I have 2 left over, so that'll be nice to get those down the road. And we've got Dustin here. He's trying to finish a couple world-class models. Sweet. Cool. You guys are getting it. That's cool. That is awesome. Garrett is here. Hello, Garrett. He must be out of the field early tonight. It's only 7:30 in his part of the world. 8:30, almost 8:30 here in Dodge City, Kansas. So we're going to get fired up here in just a minute as soon as we get 8:30 bells. That'll be great. So I had one I named Practice, and now they're both called Practice because I accidentally glued one to the mat this morning learning on it, and then I kind of broke a piece. So now they're both Practice. How do you like that? That's the way it goes. So next on my build list not for myself, actually, this is going to an 80-year-old driver down in Ulysses, Kansas, doing a Kenworth Model A or B, I don't know. It's a Kenworth. It's an old Kenworth with a silage bed on it, and the artwork just arrived today, so I'm excited. Just got to get the resin part in, and I'm fired up and ready to go. So it looks like we are at 8:30, so we are going to get going on this build and get it going. Oh, and shout out to Nathan. Got to meet him over the weekend. It was pretty cool. Hey, Nathan. Hey, everyone. It's Eric with Rockin' H Farm Toys, or Rockin' HTV, session number 48. We're on our fall build along the Neville built trailer. This is the horizontal version, not the vertical side version. And we are working on that. Last week, we put the sidewalls together, cut out some different pieces of plastic for the bottom, and to make sure it's all level and gorgeous when we get this thing put together. But tonight, what we're going to do is install a few plate pieces. One is going to be for the kingpin. Another one will be for where the rear axles are going. And then we're going to cut some plastic to level the trailer on a DCP truck. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then we will go down the road on and just see what else we can get done. We may, I'm not sure, we may get to a point where we can cut down some hoppers and start fitting them inside. So we'll see how this goes, right? We'll make this up, right? So I'm going to flip you over and then I'll explain a couple things because I did one thing while you weren't watching, and then I must have been in a fury this morning working hard because I I glued everything up, and I thought, dadgummit, shouldn't have done that so soon, because now you guys can't see me do it. Anyways, you'll get the idea. It's not rocket science, and you'll understand after I explain it. So here we go. Okay, come on. There we go. Alrighty guys, here's our trailers. And as I mentioned just a minute ago, I'm calling both of them practice because this one right here, I was just sloppy with my glue this morning. Anyways, I ended up gluing this thing to my mat, and as you can see, there's a tiny little crack. I could glue everywhere. This is dumb. Anyways, so they're both practice. Alright. So this is the one I'm sliding up here in the shot. This is the one that I began last week. Okay. Now, here's the part that I did when you weren't seeing. Excuse me. Let me start back just a second. We put the sides together here and around. We did those. Thanks for the love, by the way. Hey, Gary, how are you? And then we cut out the plastic. That is, I glued this in and this in. And then what I did when you weren't watching is, you'll notice right here, there is some styrene glued to the inside. In our first show, I said I wanted this, our model we're making tonight, I wanted it slightly wider, and you can see there, it's about 3/16 wider than, this is the original one I built. I wanted it wider to be a little bit more realistic with what you'd see going up and down the road. So there we go. So it's 3/16 wider. Anyways, what that causes then is if you don't put some more styrene on the inside, this will be too narrow. Your hoppers will be too narrow. And you're going to see here, there's already a gap that we will have to deal with later. I'm not concerned about it because we have ultra thick glue that is going to take care of this and be our friend. So I'm not really worried about that. Now, how did I make these? What did I put on the inside to fill in, to make this narrower on the inside for our hoppers to fit? Well, actually, you're going to have some of this left over, and guess what? It's already cut to the right size, so all you have to do is set it inside and glue it in. You'll notice your scrap pieces are not long enough, so you'll have to cut in a little extra at the front or rear, wherever you put it. So I did this on both sides of both trailers. And again, the reason for that was just to make the inside narrow enough to make our hoppers fit. Okay? And that was the purpose of, so basically I used two pieces of this, one on the outside, one on the inside. Obviously, I just used scraps of whatever I happen to have in my scrap styrene bin over here. You know, that's just what I did. I just used scraps there. But, as I mentioned a minute ago, you're going to have some waste product that you can easily stick in here, and then poof, it works. If that does not make perfect sense, you let me know so I can post comments in the comment section and make sure that you understand perfectly what it is I did, okay? And Alan, good to see you tonight. Thanks for stopping in. As always, good to see you here, bud. Okay, so what we did last week that I have gone on ahead and done ahead of you was we need a front and a back piece. One of these is going to be where your kingpin is going to be, and then another part is going to be where your axles are going to set and glue to, okay? So on this one, I've already taken the liberty of gluing these pieces in here and here. And on our other practice model, I'll go ahead and do that for you now. So, because your math may not be perfect, maybe you grabbed the wrong thickness of styrene, I hesitate to give you too many really firm dimensions just because if you're not following my steps dead on, it may not be exactly perfect. And that's okay. There's cheap little ways we can cheat this system and get what we want anyway. So what you can do is slide your styrene in here, okay? And then just take a writing stick of some sort, can measure on the inside, or get your measuring device. That looks to be 1 5/16" right there. Right? Okay? You'll want to make sure you measure yours and get it, you know, to whatever dimensions yours is. And just remember, give yourself enough room to make mistakes, not get it right, to screw it up. It's okay. We're dealing with about $5 worth of plastic here. If you make a mistake, start over. Okay? No big deal here. I want everyone to understand, give yourself some room to make mistakes. It's okay. All right. So, now that I've got my pieces cut to size, I just stuck them in here like so. I push this firm to the floor or to my mat, stuck that in there nice and tight, and now I'm just coming in here with glue. Now you'll notice, what did I do there? I put the ribs up, and that is because if you ever flip this trailer upside down, you won't see the ribs that way. Hello. Okay. And we have Scott in the house. Good to see you, Scott. I think I saw Harley stop in. Harley's probably waiting on corn or Milo to dry someplace. Okay. All right. Now, oh, and just so you know, I used Instaset. And then my favorite glue here. Okay. Another thing that guys often say, I get this all the time when I invite guys to, you know, DIY their projects. They ask me to build for them. I say, you know, they'll say, well, I don't have enough time. Well, okay, guys, I get it. Everyone's busy. I'm busy just like the rest of you. I got a family. I have 2 freshmen and a 6th grader and a busy wife, and I just went to a board meeting tonight and have a full-time job like all of you do. So we're all busy. But remember, we're doing a lot of this in about 30 minutes a night for how many lessons? So the point of that is if you're sitting there watching TV, you could be having a cutting board and a table or something. You could set up your laptop at the kitchen table and do anything that I'm doing. And if you remember my story, that's where I started, was at my kitchen table. I can't even begin to tell you how many combine trailers I filed and soldered and blah, and models I made just sitting at my kitchen table, guys. I did that, and I know you can too if you want to. All right. And now that, you know, you got some videos here, heck, there's no reason not to build it. Okay, we got our front and back put in. These are just places for the kingpin and our axles. That's it. Now we need to go and get these ready. So what I like to do before I get too far into this is begin shimming up the rear end. I don't really like this. I don't know of a better way to do it. On practice here, I just stacked up a bunch of styrene and then, you know, just took it to my sander and sanded it all smooth so it's somewhat square, and then used that as my shim. I don't know of a better way to do this. I don't really like the way it looks. I mean, for some reason it seems like there shouldn't be this gap here, but there is. So what do? I don't know. But for our purposes tonight, what we're doing here is I had a piece of scrap styrene left over that actually fits on this running gear kind of nicely, like so. See that? Perfect. Well, sort of, kind of perfect. Nah, maybe not. You could use any width you want, I guess. I don't really know that it's going to make a lot of difference. But this was about, it sets on this frame. If you're not comfortable just kind of guessing on some of this, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you could use any width you wanted and whatever scraps you have and just start stacking them up. I'm going to try 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces here. Okay? And then I measured them to be, well, I'll show you. I measured from, here on this on these axle set to the back, okay? And I don't recall the measurements, so I'll get that to you real quickly. And that's going to be right at 1.5 inches, okay? Hi, Mike. Good to see you. Right at 1.5 inches. So And I'm going to get to another step here before we glue these. Well, never mind. So this is what we're starting out with to make our shim. And all we're going to do is set them here. And then we're going to set our trailer on top of that. And then we're going to find us a DCP truck. Oh, look at that. There's one. And all I'm going to do is eyeball that and see if it's about right. Okay, see if it's the right height. That's what I'm doing here. Because we want the trailer from the front to the back to sit level, right? Yes, we do. Okay. And for my trailer, it looks to be 4 is going to be just right. Okay, so what do we do next? Well, I'm glad you asked. What we're going to do then is we're going to take our handy dandy glue. And we're just going to drizzle a little bit here. And then we're going to start stacking these on top of one another. I know I'm not being real pretty just yet, but just stay with me here. Okay. Yeah, you can use more glue if you want. I don't know. I'm not using a lot because I don't want it to splooge out the sides and then be messy on my fingers. And then I have to be careful I don't touch anything and get stuck to it, right? Okay. So we got our 4 pieces here. I'm just going to take these and level them all. Just make them all gorgeous like so. And still get glue on my fingers. And we'll just count to like 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20. Okay, we got our Instaset on there. That's nice. Okay. That'll kind of ooze down in them cracks and whatnot. What is the product I'm using to make it? Well, this is scrap styrene strips that I had left over. Just waste product, really. And yeah, and in case you haven't watched the first video, we're using Evergreen 4250 V-Groove. There it is. Go back and pause this video and watch it. And in the first video, I actually put the link to that product in the comments. Okay, now what I'm going to do here then, I wouldn't say normally, I'm just going to do it. You can use a sander, you can use sandpaper, you can use a file, whatever you want. All I'm doing here is, I'm just kind of cleaning up these edges, see? And because I used Instaset, guess what? That glue is cured. Whew. Easy for me to say, huh? And the file is nothing special. I think I inherited this from one of my wife's grandfathers. When they passed away, went through their shop and, oh, look at that, a file. I'll take that. So that's all we're doing is just even this up. I guess I'm not doing a very good job of keeping it square, as you can tell. Whoops. So we're just kind of getting all those. I mean, if you wanted to use a block of wood, you could use a block of wood. I mean, there's no rules as far as this goes. Just get you some sort of shim and make your trailer level. That's your goal right there, man. Okay, we're getting close. And we'll work on this other side here for a few minutes. Now, if you have a sander, it goes a lot quicker than this. Just saying. Just saying. But if you don't have a sander, and you have a file or you have sandpaper, use them. My rule is, if you don't have power tools, that is no excuse not to make awesome models. What you do is you do enough by hand to where you can go ahead and buy you some awesome models, or awesome tools, with the awesome models you make and sell. Hello! This thing can sustain itself, can it? Of course it can. All right. Now, I told you this thing needs a little bit of help because when we start stuffing hoppers in there, this is going to cause a problem, all this extra stuff in here. We do not want anything in our way when we're putting these inside of our trailer body. All right? We want to remove this obstruction. Even if you don't need to move it, get rid of it anyway because it might cause you trouble. I'm going to go to my bandsaw real fast. I'll be back in 60 seconds. Hang on. Just kidding. I'm okay. Ta-da! Okay. Now, we're not going to get crazy and glue this together yet because we got to paint this trailer before we get too far and all that other good stuff. So we're just going to kind of just dry fit everything, make sure it looks reasonable. We might even go back and make sure that's not a dumb angle. Hang on. See what I mean? Sanders, bee's knees. There we go. Let's clean off this. See, I just made short work of that silly angle. Ta-da! Let's call that baby square. Uh-huh. Alright. Okay, as I was mentioning here, we're just going to take this bad boy. We're going to just dry fit this here, make it look all wonderful, nice and gorgeous, and that's perfect. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I'm liking it. We're going with it. Remember, that's just 4 pieces of scrap styrene. That's all it is. And Dave LePage says, I love these videos. Very helpful. Awesome, Dave. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Tell all your friends. And JT Bethards, nice name. Hello. And hello back. All right. So here's what we're going to kind of end up with here, as you can see. That was the goal of this process right here. All right. All we're going to do now is we will want to, well, I'm trying to remember if I put this piece on first or last, I don't recall. Actually, I may have to cut that short too. I think I'm actually going to go back and knock this off clear back here just because after looking at my practice one, see here? See how all of this styrene stacked up here? I had to, it's cut way back here, so see how that hopper comes right over top of that bad boy right there? You don't have a whole lot of room. You're trying to stuff an awful lot of plastic in a short space. So, and why didn't I look at that before I got on the video and then put all this stuff together, gave you a measurement, and it's really not any good information? I don't know, but that's what I did. Anyway, I'm gonna just, if you didn't see what I just did there, golly. It's a good thing I'm not getting paid for this. You guys might want your money back. All right. I just kind of eyeballed that. Okay. I do that a lot, actually. Find the angle and sand it to fit the hopper. There we go. That's right. Sand it to fit, baby. I like Donnie's thinking. Okay, here we are again. So I just cut that and sanded it. See, and that's what, the only thing power tools do for you, it just increases your speed, you know, like tenfold. At the Model Building Summit in February, we'll start with plastic like this and we'll have a finished trailer in 10 hours. I mean, because, or you know, you want to stretch a truck or do anything like that, I mean, we will flat freaking haul the mail. And it's not that they're even rushed or turning out poorly or anything. It's just with tools, with power tools, it just goes fast. I mean, you can just, okay. That's what we're looking at right there, guys. That's what we have accomplished. We have room for our hoppers and everything. We're good to go. Let's move this thing on forward. Okay. I think I'm going to glue this on there quick because we're making two, so if I don't like the way it turns out, I'll just do it over, right? Okay. Again, I'm just an eyeballer, man. Look at that. There we go. We're just eyeballing that in there, making sure it's kind of even on the back. The one thing I would tell you that I did was I pushed this piece right up to the front edge of this plastic here. You see how I have a little gap there? And that's because I'm going to put a piece of trim on the back of this thing right there. Okay? See how I did that there? So I didn't push this spacer or shim clear out to this edge here. It's at this inside edge right there. Okay? Okay, because we want to put a piece of trim there and cover all that up and make it look pretty. Okay, and actually I just noticed a little glue oozed out. I didn't like it, so I got rid of that glue. Okay, I think now, guys, we are ready to chop some hoppers and get this baby rocking and rolling on down the road. Let's do this. Okay, nothing fancy on the hoppers, but you do need to take this into consideration. This front one right here, let me see. One of these you can leave long, the other one you gotta cut it all the way down, okay? So, I'm gonna make the executive decision here. This is the rear, obviously. This is the rear of our trailer, so this one can stay long, okay? This one, we gotta cut both the front and the back. Okay, you're going to understand in just a moment. Let's go. Scissors. Here we go. Now, for my scientific method here, see this row of rivets right here? Let me get you a better shot there. See this row of rivets right here in front of this little spot here where it begins to taper down? Yeah, that's where I'm cutting right there. I was cutting those rivets off. Ta-da! Our first cut's made. Doesn't it make you feel funny? Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. And we're going to do that to this one. You'll notice I kind of scored that a little bit, scorched it. It acted like it didn't love me anymore, but that's okay. You can use your knife. Just set this, close your hopper there. You can kind of monkey this thing around and score it and then snap it. That works too. I prefer to use the scissors because you saw how simple that was, didn't you? Yeah. All right. We're coming back here on this one. We're going to cut this off. And actually, I'm just going to cut from right here at this angle. See this little whatever where it starts to taper down? Going right there on both sides. And that was not fun. Turkey. Now, if you don't like your edges here, don't worry about it, man. Just file them down. Use a little sandpaper. It's okay. So what I'm going to do, you'll notice this looks kind of gnarly here. A little gnarly there. It's not pretty. It's not clean. No, it's not. So what we're going to do here is just using our handy dandy file because we own one. We could use our sandpaper if we wanted to. You can use a power tool if you want to. Okay, see? Didn't take a whole lot, did it? And look at that edge is nice and pretty again. Ta-da! Where are we at? 8:55, guys. Okay, I think where we're going to stop tonight is I'm going to go ahead and get these ready to go so we can dry fit them in, just kind of take a look at it, see how it goes. We may glue those together because they seem to go in a lot. At least on the other one I did. These bad boys went together a ton easier when they were in one piece instead of two separate pieces. And I know there's other guys that have made these. And if you happen to know who those other guys that have made these hoppers if you know who they are, I would love to know how they did it, because they may have done something smarter than I'm doing. Okay, so here's what we're looking at right there. Okay, we're going to end up gluing these together just because, well, we can. And it's a bucket load easier when these two bad boys are glued together than when they are in two pieces. I'm here to tell you. Yeah, I won't even go into the new words I invented when I was playing with the first one. Okay. All right, we're also going to take this off, and then you got to knock these off too, because these are going to be in your way. So we're just going to come over here. We're just going to do a little cutting. Again, you don't have to do it the way I did it. Use the tool that makes you happy. I'm using a flat-sided side cutter here. I bought this online just because I thought, let's try that brand. Because I've got like 4 of these different things of different variations, and it's all good. Now, take your sharp X-Acto knife, and without cutting yourself, matter of fact, I'm going to go this way because I really don't want to wear that knife in my body, because it seems, so far, knock wood, I have managed to put 2 brand new blades in X-Acto knives, and so far I'm yet to cut myself. Ha! Cut away. Isn't that what you're supposed to do in Boy Scouts? I don't know what that funky junk is there. Ha! Yeah. You guys obviously have been there and done that. Okay. This is partially going to be hidden. As you can see, you can't hardly see where those were on the back of this hopper. You can't see them very well. So you don't have to make it look glamorous, okay? Just knock them off, get them smooth, which is what I did. Okay. We are at 8:58. I don't want to push my luck because things are going well. Yes, I want to push my luck. Who am I kidding? That's dumb. I want to push my luck. I want to see how far we can get on this monkey. All right. So I'm going to knock a few things over, trying to get what I need. And throw some stuff to the floor. And then we're going to... Yeah, that's not enough. Okay, here we go. I'm liking this. All right, I need one more thingy. I actually hadn't planned on getting this far, quite honestly, guys. Okay, what have I just assembled here? I've assembled a little platform, and I'll show you how it works. You'll have to do whatever you want to at your house. Just use the things you have on hand. Don't go buy anything. That's kind of silly. Just use what you have on hand. Okay. I am, with my little eye, trying to spy a straight line here. And then we're just going to put some little glue in there. Watch this. And I'm actually going to reposition this so you can see what I'm doing. Look at that. How do you like that? That's better. Okay. And the reason I have it on this platform is if you can see this over here by my middle finger. No, I'm not flipping you off. I'm pointing. Look at that. I'm pointing. Anyway, that is going to be on our way, so I've just raised it up so I can glue this together. All right, here we go. Splashing glue here because it makes us happy. Yeah, baby. All right. And, yeah, you know what I'm doing. Insta-set there because, well, why not? Why wait for it to dry when we can make it dry? Woohoo! All right. We're just going to put a straight edge on there just to make sure we're happy, and I'm happy. That'll work. Okay. Now, since it's 9:01, I'm officially going to sign off in about 90 seconds. I can't stop just yet. No! Since we glued this together for fun, we got to see if it works, right? Well, that's exactly what we wanted to have happen right there, see? Okay. So this is basically what we're looking at right there. If you remember from the beginning of our time together, I said that this was too narrow. The hoppers are just a shade narrow yet. That's okay. That's okay. Because we have Instaset Ultra Thick, excuse me, I can't remember what my glue is, MaxiCure Ultra Thick, and it is going to help us fill this in. Plus, get this, we're not done yet, are we? We're going to put a little piece of plastic back here and then one in the front so we can make our hoppers look somewhat realistic. Now, guys, here's the thing. If you are in love with a gorgeous inside area, you can actually probably make these seams much more elegant than I have. I just primered this piece of plastic here and stuck it in. You really can't see it from the bottom too much, but you can see it obviously from the inside. Now, for my purpose, if I was keeping one of these for myself, I would just take the tarp and glue it closed so you can just feel happy that you don't have to look at it. But I know a lot of guys like to see the inside. So this is where, when you're doing some of these cuts and things like that, take the extra time to make them, your seams, pretty. Okay. Okay, that's it. Oh, maybe I'll turn you around. Or not. Try. Okay, here we are, and you got to see my hand again. How nice. All right, guys, that is tonight's lesson 903. I'm sorry it kept you just a couple minutes late, but we got a lot accomplished, okay? Now, if you're building along, please post your progress pics in the lab. I would love to see how you guys are getting on. I know Nathan's got 4 or 5 different trailers he's working on. It'd be awesome to see his progress. I know he's got the walls cut out and different things going on. For those of you that are building also, just please post your pics, your photos, whatever, in the lab, and let us see what you're doing. And if you have a better idea on anything I've done, post that too, because hey, I'm not the no end all be all. I'd like to think I am. Anyway, if you have better ideas, I know we can all learn from each other, and that'll be great. Okay, next week we're going to continue on our project by doing this. We're going to glue some plastic over here and here. We're going to prime some plastic and get that going. We'll probably drill a hole for a kingpin and get that glued in. We can probably put our ladders on, unless you want to paint your ladder a different color than white. You could paint it separately and then whatever. I think that's where we're probably going to end up next week. Okay, so be ready for some... I'm going to try and splash paint because that's just good. Okay then. With that, guys, like, comment, and share. Any question you have, I'm willing to answer. Do not be afraid. And again, post your progress pics. I'd love to see those as you go. With that, my friends, thank you for watching. I'll see you next week with lesson 3, and off we go. Have a great week. See ya.